Hey everyone, how y'all doing today? So Honda seems like they finally released the 2019 HRV. And I was checking out the specs online today. So like I said in my previous video, it seems like they're going to add the Touring and the Sport. I wasn't sure if they was going to remove some of the models, which they didn't. So now the lineup goes from LX, Sport, EX, EXL, and Touring, and the prices range from 20,000 plus to 28,000 plus. So that's the broad range right there. Originally, I know it started off, at least when I got mine, it started off at 19,000, and that was the LX, and the EXL was in the $25,000 or $26,000 range. So the scale has been broadened, and now based on what trim you get, you're gonna gain some things and you're gonna lose some things. So let's run down with the lineup of the features you're gonna get. Now the Sport, EX, EXL, and Touring gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The EX and the EXL get Honda sensing. So if you get the Sport or the LX, you won't get Honda sensing. And that also includes lane watch, lane keeping, and adaptive cruising. That's all on the EX, EXL, and Touring. Another feature that's on the EX, EXL, and Touring but not on the Sport or the LX is Smart Key Walkaway. That means you don't have to worry about forgetting about locking your car, because at a certain distance you get away from the car, it's automatically going to lock itself if you have the smart key in your pocket or in your purse. As long as the smart key is on you, it's going to lock itself. Now when I was looking at the preview, I thought the LED headlights would be standard, but it's not. It's mainly on the Touring edition. So the other trim don't have that feature. Only the Touring model would have that LED headlights. So if you want LED headlights, you have to pay $28,000 for it, basically. I also saw in the specs that the EX, EXL, and Touring has programmable locks. That's a feature I'd like to explore to see what it's all about. Of course, the EX, EXL, and Touring has the push start. The Sport and LX, you gotta stick the key in and turn the ignition. So if you want to push start, you'd have to move up to the EX at least. And as far as the navigation system, now I know on the previous version, the EXL was the one with the navigation built in. At least when I purchased mine, those three lineups, I'd have to move up to the EXL to actually get the navigation. Now the navigation has been bumped to the Touring. So it's not even available on the EXL anymore. It's all just on the Touring. So I'm not sure why Honda did that. I mean, I think it should have been at least an option on the EXL, but now you have to pay $28,000 if you want that feature. Those are the main highlighted feature I just wanted to pick out. They all come with different color scheme. It seems like they've added some more color scheme to the choice of what color you can get your HRV in. There's a few that I'm showing you right now that you can look at. As you can see, they got this color and that color and that color, which is kind of cool. So you know, it gives you a broader range of kind of color you want. You also have a choice of the gray interior and a black interior as far as the seat and all that stuff. But I know if I get another one, I definitely will get another seat cover, because you know, I gotta protect my seats. Another feature I noticed is the Sport actually has sport pedals. And that's not something available on any other model. It's just the Sport model. To me, it seems like the Sport is like a little bit more featured than the LX, but not as much features as the EX. Because there's so much missing features off that, it seems like it's just a slight upgrade to the LX. Honestly, it looks like you should just eliminate the LX model and just start off with the Sport. Because that's where Apple CarPlay start off anyway, and the Android Auto, and some other features that they added to the vehicle. And the difference between the LX and the Sport as far as price is like a $1,700 difference. And to me, if I was going for it, I would try some way to try to at least get finance for that Sport version and just skip the LX. At least it start off at a better level than the LX, because the LX looks like it's got features, but it seems like it's just stripped all the way down. And the lane watch is another thing too, which is that side camera when you turn on your blinker or you're trying to get over in a different lane. at least to the right lane I should say, that comes on automatically when you turn on your indicator. But that feature is not available until you get up to the EX model and above. So the basic one right now should be the Sport and not the LX, because you don't get stuff like moonroof, the rack, all that stuff is just missing. So I believe that the Sport should be the bottom level. And due to all those missing features, I think more people are going to go for the Sport instead of the LX to start off at the bottom level. Because like I said, those features that's missing, so many features that's missing in the LX version is not in the Sport. And the Sport difference in price is not that great. You know, $1,700, yes, it seems like a lot of money, but it's not like it's a $5,000 difference. So I think most people are just going to pony up and go for the Sport version if they want to go to the bottom level instead of working their way up to the Touring. Now the Touring at $28,000, we're talking about you know, a little bit above what people would want to pay for a car like that. You know what I mean? I mean, that $28,000, you're pushing almost $30,000 range here. And there's some other cars you can get, or SUV you can get for that price with more bang for the buck, if you know what I mean. Now the Touring is nice, but to pay $28,000 for just two basically added feature, and that's the LED headlights and the navigation system, and those are the two main features. I see you getting the difference between the EXL and the EX compared to the Touring. I mean, the EX right now is starting out at $23,000 plus. So an extra $5,000, or should I say an extra $4,000 and change to get navigation, I just can't see it. But to each his own. To each his own. Each one of them come with different features. Like I say, they get added little things, but most of the key features that I see by looking at the specs are pretty much balanced between the EX, EXL, and the Touring. So if I was going shopping right now for an HRV, I would actually stick with the EX, just like the one I have right now, because the features in the upper trims don't really justify me paying extra. Just like when I got mine in 2016, I did not see the justification of me paying extra to go with the EXL model. Yes, it had navigation and all that stuff, but I already had my GPS, my Garmin, and like I said, I didn't see the justification between the price with the leather, because I already know I was going to put seat cover on it. It's not like I'm sitting on the leather. But at the end of the day, you're going to make that choice. I'm just here to show you that there's difference between the models based on what you get. I think they should have got rid of the LX model, because the difference between the LX and the Sport pretty much about the same. But I know if for myself, if I was going to the dealership tomorrow to pick a choice, it would probably be the same color, and I would stick with the EX model, because that one has just enough feature for me to be satisfied with. The Touring looks nice, but like I said, to get the LED headlights and the navigation, I just can't see me spending going from $23,000 to $28,000 plus. I mean, that's, like I said, you're looking at a $5,000 difference, just about. All right, but make a choice. Go check it out on Honda's website and look at the different colors and build your own. So what I'll probably do is head up to the dealership one of these days and stop by there and ask them for a test drive based on which trim they have. Hopefully they have at least have the EX, because that's the one I would like to test drive. If not, the EXL or the Touring. I really don't want to test drive the Sport or the LX, because I know those are lacking features that won't be in the video that I would like to do, you know, like the lane keep and the brake assist and all those different features. So I would really like to test drive the EX or above, but we'll see. I'll talk to my local dealer and see if I can set up a test drive. Make sure I take my camera with me so I can do a video on it and you can see the different stuff that they add and take away. Oh, one more thing I noticed they took away too, because my HRV comes with an HDMI outlet. Now, I used it once in a while by plugging in my Fire Stick and stuff like that, but I haven't used it that much. The only problem is you can't use it while you're driving. You have to be parked. which is a cool feature if you're in the car waiting on somebody to come out, like you drop somebody off somewhere and you have to wait there at least 30 minutes. You can sit there and watch a video, but I haven't really used it the way I really want it. But in the new models, they took it out. So only thing I see is the USB port right there under that console where the shifter is. That's where I'm talking about, that spot. If you have an HRV, you know what I'm talking about. They have those plugs down there, and it was actually 2 USB and a HDMI and power outlet. You used to, well, they used to call it cigarette lighter, but now it's a power outlet. So that's one of the things I did notice. But like I said, as soon as I can get my hands on a test drive, I'm gonna make another video and come back and give you my feel for it. I don't see they do a lot of different stuff to it, like as far as the horsepower and all other stuff, but I'm not concerned about that. It seemed like the engine is the same engine. It's more of a added feature type of deal and broaden the feel as far as choices. So if you were asking me which one I should get, I would tell you right now, try to go for the EX model. And if you can't afford it, get the Sport and skip the LX. But as far as the Touring is concerned, it's kind of seemed like it's out of there. I was hoping from my price prediction, I was talking to one of my subscribers about it on my channel, and I was predicting that somewhere it's going to start off in probably where like 17 or so, all the way up to like 29,000. And the Touring is 28 plus, so it's close to the 29 prediction that I had. Anyway, I'm going to end it there, and like I said, as soon as I get my hand on the test drive, I'm going to come back and make another video, so stay tuned. Subscribe, like, share, leave your comments, and I'll see you in the next one.